My name is Steve Spiekerman. I've been a resident of Wisconsin all my life. I've lived in the Madison area since 1985. I've been an avid waterfowler most of my life, so for those who don't know what a waterfowler is, it's somebody who hunts ducks. I'm generally hunting someplace where there's water. Many times we hunt waterfowl in agricultural fields when the birds are feeding, but for the most part we hunt in and around areas that have water. Waterfowl are migratory species. Hunting pressure, predation, lack of food will force the birds to migrate south, which is an annual trek for waterfowl. This all happens in the fall. It starts as early as September and can run into late December. And I have noticed some changes in the timing of that migration over the last 25 years. It seems that waterfowl have been arriving in Wisconsin on later and later dates. As a result, I spend far less time, let's say in late September and through most of October, hunting waterfowl because I'm still waiting for them to come south from Canada or the tundra where they may have been nesting on their migration south. The season to me seems to have gotten later and later over the last 20 years. Many lakes in Wisconsin have much lower water levels than they've had in years. The Great Lakes are at near historic lows for water levels, and many of the marshes that I hunted this year were extremely dry to the point that they weren't navigable with watercraft. It became very difficult to access places I had accessed in the past. There's a number of things we can do. The first thing we can do is we can hunt different places. That's always disappointing in that hunting is a bit of a cultural thing and there are traditions, and when those traditions have to be disrupted because you need to go different places, it does change your outlook on the season. I've also noticed that I had to be prepared to hunt later in the season as migration pattern changes. Sometimes you need to select certain time periods, the way the hunting structures and regulations work in Wisconsin. I've tended to select later periods every year, reflecting a later migration of waterfowl. They tend to stay north as long as they can. Over the last decade or two seems to have progressed to be a later and later time period. It affects not just me, but any hunter along the flyway from as far north as Canada all the way down to Mexico. And the change in the patterns and the timing will have to be reflected in the regulations that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service provides to the various areas. Much needs to change if that continues to happen.